Today I'm going to discuss with all of you a very important principle of success, which I personally believe is the most practical one, as well as if you implement this particular principle in your day-to-day life problems, then also you will get a fundamentally very good result. So I'm talking about the first principle thinking. The first principle thinking has been invented by Aristotle, and years after that, there are lots of great inventors, there are lots of great industrialists, and all the successful people implemented this first principle thinking in their business models, even to solve the problems and in different aspects of life. I always believe that you never can learn anything unless you experienced that. It's very important, any kind of principles or any kind of theory, whatever you have learned or whatever you have studied from the books, unless you implement this particular principle in your own life and you get a result, you will be not sure about it. So it's very important that whatever we are learning, we should have the practical experience of that. So what is first principle thinking? In simple terms, if I want to explain it, then it is the first principle thinking has been started from a very fundamental point. If you are facing any kind of problem, whether it is in your personal life, whether it is in your studies, whether it is in your professional life, in your relationships, in any phase of your life, if you are facing any kind of problem, then you just can use this first principle technique and you just see the wonderful result you are getting. I just want to give you an example of this first principle thinking approach. You can solve any kind of problem you're having in your life. I just want to give you another example that if you are doing your personal finance, you are making strategies and goals for your personal finance, that how can you achieve a certain target, a certain point where you can be financially independent. Then also you just have to start from the very basic, that first of all you just have to decide that how much amount you need for the next 10 years. If you want to take the retirement in next 10 years, then after 10 years how much amount you need to have. First of all you need to do the calculation. Then you have to see that how much time you have. See you have 10 years in your hand to reach 1 crore goal. Then your goal target amount is 1 crore and time span you have approximately 10 years. Then now you have to decide that now you have to calculate that how much return it's needed to reach that particular goal. Then you have to go through that what are the options available in your hand where you can earn that much of return. And after that you just have to go through the risk analysis, that if you want to earn that particular amount or that particular return, that how much risk you need to have to take. So these first principle technique generally used to give you lots of different options, where you can decide out of those options, you just can decide that which one suits you best, and then you can take your just take the correct step in that or through that goal. So first principle thinking is not only an approach in physics, it's also you can implement this approach in your day-to-day life and achieve huge success, and you can solve all the problems in your life. So from the great learners from the great successful people, we need to understand that what are those techniques they have used in their life, so that they are so much successful in their life. So it's very important that every time you just have to read this kind of books, or you just have to listen those podcasts which motivates you to do best in your life. I just want to give you an example of the great to people. That is how the luggage bag has been invented. The luggage bag with the wheels has been invented. Barnard Shaw was the first person who invented this. Once upon a time, he is waiting in the airport um for his flight, and there he had seen that people are coming with the big luggages, with big bags, and they are facing lots of difficulties there to just carry those bags and just to carry it with themselves. And then he saw that there are big trolleys are used here to just overload those bags, and those trolleys carries many number of bags altogether. Then he got an idea that if I really want to solve this problem, and if I don't want to depend on anyone else, then how I can carry the bag easily. Then he thought that the bag should have wheels, just to see that particular uh, trolley or the particular. Then he got an idea that if each and every bag has wheels under it, then it will be very easy to carry the bags, and people can carry their own bags by themselves. This all invention is also comes from the first principle thinking. So first principle thinking is generally gives us forced us to think from a very fundamental point of view, and it's the decision tree analysis also. You just have to start from the very root cause of that particular problem, that why this is happening to me, why this is not working out. See, why I'm not able to concentrate. For the students, many students have the problem, concentration problem. Whenever they used to study, they just sit for the study. They have lots of they can't concentrate on their studies. So how we can solve it? So it's very important for all of us to understand that what are the thoughts when when we sit for the studies, what are the thoughts we generally used to have in our mind. So what are those points where our minds continuously roaming and we can't able to concentrate? If you're thinking about your friends, if you're thinking about what your teacher has told you in the class, or if you are thinking about some of the family problems, what are those points which make you disturbed? First of all, you need to understand that. You need to pick out those points. Then you have to go through this, that how you can solve it, how you can solve this problem, so that it will be easy for you when you sit for the studies. This kind of thoughts will not come to your mind. So each and every problem, you can implement the first principle thinking approach. We just have to understand what are the root cause of that particular problem. If you're going through any problem in your relationship with your friend or with your spouse or with your children, then you have to understand that what are the causes which create the differences between the two of you. Then you have to point out those points, and then it's very much important that you need an open discussion about those points with your spouse or with your child or with your friend, whoever it is. If discussion is possible, then it's quite good. And if discussion is not possible, or the opponent person is not ready to discuss with you, then you have to discuss it with your own self. That what are those things which you can do from your side to solve the problem in that particular relationship. And you just have to put all the efforts to do that, so that in future you don't have the regret that you have not done sufficient attempt from your side. So after doing this thing also, if the problem has not been sorted out, or the front person or the person with whom you have the problem, he or she has not taken any step to solve the problem, then you need not to console yourself that you have not done anything from your side. Then you have to understand that staying in any kind of relationship where only you have to put efforts, only you are putting efforts, and the opponent one is not doing anything, then you just have to leave that, and you just have to move on your own life, and concentrate on those aspects where you can give your 100%, and you definitely will have the result. In future, it's possible that the relationship where you have problem, whether it is with your child, with your parents, with your partner, with your friend, anyone, you will see a drastic change in their approach, because when they saw that you are not putting efforts from your side, and you stopped it, and you are happy with your own life, and you are moving in your own life, then they have lots of problems in their mind. Then they start putting the efforts from their side. So it's not, I'm not going to discuss about the problems, how to solve the problems in relationships, or how to solve the problems in your life. I just want to say that using this first principle technique, you will reach a certain point where you have already discussed with yourself all the possible options. It's like a decision tree analysis. If you do this, then what happens? If you don't do this, then what are the pros and cons? So it's like that. So first principle thinking approach always used to motivate us to see all the different approaches, and among those all approaches, you have to choose the best approach, you have to choose the best option, and then work on it. Definitely you will reach at that point. Using this method, you will reach at that point where you will get the best solution or the best option out of all this. So I just want to say, we need to understand that what are those techniques they have used in their life, so that they are so much successful in their life. So it's very important that every time you just have to read this kind of books, or you just have to listen those podcasts which motivates you to do best in your life. So this is all for today. Take care, all of you. Bye bye.